Alright, how's it going today, guys? We're back for some more GT6 today. And we had our live stream yesterday. And I finally put in a piston here to shut this thing off. I still haven't done the oven yet, but I at least got the extruder one done. Also put something in to collect my ash for me. Because I'm using a wood barrel for the ash. Because, well, we don't have that much of it. And I don't want to make a mass storage for it. I just put a chest down here and I'll manually take it over there when I need to. I am thinking about putting in a dustbin for it. We might do that. But then I also put a hopper on the back to input whatever it is we're using for fuel, which currently we're using charcoal. So we're getting regular ash, not dark ash. Once I get the charcoal burned up, then we'll probably go to lignite. I've been using charcoal chunks because just like with coal, you can turn it into a brick, put it in here, make it into a charcoal brick, and then you can turn that into nuggets or chunks, and I've been using chunks. We also have gotten 2 more coagulators put in because holy crap, these things are slow, and it looks like we are finally in need of more sticky resin. So let me go get that real quick. I've had it in my inventory waiting for it to need to be turned on, and finally got it out of my inventory, and well, now I need it. Alright, so we'll take this stack over there. Well, why don't we just take, I think I have a chest over there for it. We'll just take all 3 stacks. There we go. And we can now get rid of this because we finally have the last rubber pipe we need to connect up the rubber tank, the rubber pipe to the glue tank over here. So it already has glue in it, so we can connect that there. We're going to drop that off. That. Alright, so now it's stacked with that one. So now the only other thing we need to do is connect the pipe along this way because we don't have it connected like right here. And the good thing for that is that's going to give us this entire network of pipe to hold latex. So we will have the internal here and all of these pipes that'll be able to hold latex along with each machine, but each machine only holds 1,000 liters, so it's not that big of a tank. As soon as we get the filters, then we can actually put in a proper tank and just fill it up with latex and let it run, which we may actually just see how many coagulators it'll take to keep up with this centrifuge and just keep making coagulators at some point. But for right now, we're just going to do 3. I do believe there is a large one. Yeah, it's been a while, so there is a large coagulator, but you need to have Ruby processing circuits for that, and that's not something we're going to get anytime soon. We did finally get all of the shredding done, except for that last little bit of limestone. Because we get 9 limestone per block, we are up to 918 limestone up there. We also have 135 marble. And that's not counting what we've gotten from mining, because all of that is still over here in this area, which we need to get moved over there. We got 431 right here that we can take over there. Let me throw something in my backpack for a minute. There we go. Eventually, I will probably have all of the stone dust over here, but these are ones that we actually need. Another thing that we did during the live stream was started working out our next building. You'll see we have signs here. These are what we're going to be putting in the tanks that we're going to be putting in this area. So you might be able to guess this is going to be our acid production building. And basically it's going to, I figured we'd try something that wasn't square or rectangle. So this is going to be the corner. We'll have this little area over here. I figure we can do like this sulfuric acid line since it's pretty straight. And then we can do some of the more elaborate setups over in this big area, since we do have a few of them that are more than just use sulfuric acid with something and make your next acid. But we need to get that stuff done so we can get into aluminum. It's going to be our next major hurdle is getting aluminum done. And I do not want to have to deal with making boilers and running boilers for mixers. It's really a pain in the butt. I've done it many, many times. And so this time we're going to try something a little different. We are going to make ethanol, and we're going to use diesel engines. It's going to be very inefficient because we're not going to be able to turn them off immediately. We're only going to be able to control them by the pipe that inputs the fuel. So it's going to be a little wasteful, but lighting up the boiler is wasteful because it has to have time to heat up. So I don't think this is going to be any more wasteful than doing that. So we made the fermenter and the distillery. The distillery, by the way, has changed its recipe. I'll show you here real quick the 2 recipes. So the fermenter is just large stainless steel fluid pipes and stainless steel machine casing with a double copper plate and 2 blocks of bricks. And you just use 6 since we can't extrude it because we don't have the Invar extruder yet. And then the distillery, this is one that amazed me, since last time I made this was probably 2 years ago. The distillery does not take a blaze rod anymore. I guess when I discussed with Greg about needing ender pearls and stuff like that to do them, maybe he changed it then. Because I was discussing the fact that, you know, if somebody wanted to play in Peaceful, there was things they couldn't make. And well, he made a way of making ender pearls and nether stars, so those recipes didn't change. But this one did. Or maybe it was because he felt Constantine wire was a better choice than a thing of blaze rod. I have no idea. But for some reason, you now have no blaze rod to make your distillery, just 2 glass, a tiny stainless fluid pipe, which without the extruder is, you lose half of your stainless steel doing it. It's only half a unit, but you don't want to make too many of them. Then 2x Constantine wires, steel machine casing, double plate of copper, and you're good. So, if we look at the fermenter, it has item input on the left, which we already put our chest there, fluid in on the back or the left, and then it comes out the top. So we need to get our water input, because that's what we're going to be using for this, is water. We need to put that right there. And because rubber pipes are taking forever, I'm just using copper for right now. I can change these out later. And I need to, where is my spade? Okay. Hello. Shots fired. Yeah, I hear you, bum. Okay, so one of these right there is our water. And hopefully my spade doesn't break before we get this done, because I know it's really close to it. Alright, so we're just going to run that right along that line right there. And actually, if I wanted to, we could get away. I was going to say we could get away with running a wooden pipe. We're going to have to go under this. Yeah, let's go ahead and run a wooden pipe. Save on these copper ones, because the less we need to use, the better. And we'll just take we'll have to take that pipe down and under that brass one right there. Unless I can think of a way to do this. That is the output from our coke ovens going into the barrels. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to go under it. I can't get that. There we go. So then we'll do one. Let's go down in the basement. I gotta. Yeah, you're here. I know. Go away. I gotta get that torch placed back down here. I still haven't gotten this daggone floor replaced yet. I need to get that done. Hi, how you doing up there? I'll be with you in a minute. Alright, so we'll do it just like that. And then make sure everything is connected. And we should have water, which we do. Now, let's go get rid of this guy. And we can run the rest of our pipe now. And fix my screw up here. break out these. You can tell a creeper went off here at one point because, well, cobblestones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is about all we're going to be able to handle. Let's go see if we have. I know there's at least one more in that box. And that might be the end of what we have. By the way, I made 3 germanium mass storages so I can get rid of these. I just haven't taken the time to get them all switched yet. We've got 1. We could use these small ones. Yeah, let's go ahead and use these because we really don't need that much bandwidth right now. And if it ends up being too small, I can always change them out. But this will save us on copper. You just switch it out to these. It only does, these wooden ones do 200, no, 50. So, oh, we can't do this one right here. That one out of there, we got to change that out for the actual copper. Alright, there's that. Because all of the wooden ones are going to be completely surrounded by blocks. They can't catch on fire. But the ones in the wall right there can. There. The only ones that aren't completely surrounded by blocks are the ones that are going down here, but we don't have anything flammable in that area because that's right here, and, well, everything's wooden there anyways. So, there is our water, and we're just going to throw in whatever random food things that I have laying around right now. Probably get a wheat farm made or pumpkin farm or something like that. But for right now, we've got a stack of wheat. We got some more currants we can throw in there. We got some peanuts we can throw in there. I got plenty of lettuce in here, so we can take some of that. Don't need turnips. We don't need all that zucchini. And we got barley, we got oats. And all kinds of things we can throw in to become... Oh, and we also have... Is it over here or in the... Might be in the nature stuff box. Yeah, we also have our plant remains that we had made before. We can throw those in as well. We also have all those saplings. We can actually throw them into the shredder. And we can make plant remains out of that as well and throw them in. But for now, we'll just throw all this stuff in here. And that will make us our biomass. So these are liquid burning boxes that we are just reusing from before. And we're going to do creosote. So I need to run our creosote pipe, which is right here. So we need to run that over there. And I'm just going to run it right here. And it looks like I'm actually going to have to dig out more of my basement now. This, I'm not gonna dig out all the stone. I'm just gonna do enough to get this at the moment. Just gotta find where they're at. Dug that. There we go. That's where we gotta go, right there. Alright, so now I can take my dirt, fill that back in, because I only did that so I knew where it was. And now we can connect there. And we put the other one 2 blocks away, so it should be... Oh, wait a minute. Is that the... That's the steel. Okay. Never mind. We gotta go this way. Alright, so now we need to connect to that one. And we'll bring this over. Connect it there. And then we can run this back over and connect it here. And this will give us a use for that creosote that we don't have a whole lot of use for at the moment, because the only thing using it is our dryer. And our centrifuge is full of latex. We can go ahead and shut it. And yeah, that block's going to be a pain in the butt. I figured that fell down there. There we go. And I'm just going to shove a little bit of that back in there. And now we can put our floor back. Alright, so we should have fuel here, fuel there. We're good to go. And then get the pipe I screwed up there. And fix the floor there. Alright. So, we now have our water in. So we can light this up. And apparently currents don't work. And there we go. 120 liters of biomass per thing. Another thing we can do is cut the grass and use, if we use a knife, and we can throw the grass in here too. That works. Alright, so next is our distillery. And it needs its fluids in the top or the left, and its fluids are going to come out the back. And the fluids only can come out the back. So we can just run this pipe straight over and into here. We just got to connect up from the top. Just like that. We don't have to connect. And there's our biomass. And we're trying to do... hell, it's going to be easier to do it this way. So, biomass, distillery. We need a selector tag, which I made a selector tag, which is simply just 3 iron rods or steel rods. I use steel. And 4 small gears with a hammer and a wrench. And we're going to stick that right there. So now we can light this up. And there we go. It is running. So we have 160 distilled water and 96 ethanol. And that, as we just read, is going to come out here from the back. And since it's giving us distilled water, what we're going to do is run a pipe all the way over to here to drop the water off. And we'll do a nanopool pipe just like this. And basically I will, well, I gotta figure out how I'm getting around that. I'll probably go through the wall and up above it, and then we'll run that over. For right now, we can just put this here, and that will collect our ethanol. And now that we have that in there, let's go ahead and make a nanopool pipe. Again, once we get filters, this will be way easier. But since we don't have filters, this is kind of a pain in the butt, because we can't tell it exactly which one we want to go where. So we need to get to the aluminum pretty quick. I actually should not do that probably, but we're going to do it anyways. So now we'll put that right there, and we will open it up down to there. And so now that just has our distilled water in it. So for right now, we're going to take this one out. That wooden pipe is going to burn one of these days. And we're going to put this one here. And then we'll put this here. And we will connect it up right there. And how in the world did you go over there? Can ethanol go sideways? Not sure how it did that. We're gonna put this back in there real quick. I swore that said it had ethanol in it. Okay, so that one is empty. And we only have distilled water in here. So if we do that, we should now have, okay, distilled water in there. So now if we break these two back out of here, and we put that one there, and we put that one there, and both of them are open. Now we have ethanol and distilled water. So I will have to empty the distilled water every now and then. I'm going to have to make a bunch of nanopool pipes. I don't want to make a bunch of them out of copper. I only did this so I could get the first little bit taken care of. That we actually have out there is a pretty decent amount for what we're going to be doing. The diesel engine, if we look at ethanol here, burnable fuel, it gives us 144 GU, runs for 9 ticks. And we're going to be running them, we're going to be running mixers with them, which are only running 16 RU. So 144 divided by 16 times 9 will tell you how long it's going to be able to run in ticks for each one that we put in there. And with what we just did, we've got 2,592. So that's not a bad amount for what we're doing. I definitely am going to get more stuff growing to make more, but for an initial setup, that's not bad. Alright, so I can go ahead and take these apart, and I'm going to grab those plant remains and throw them over there. Another thing we can do is this cactus. We can actually throw it in the fermenter as well. I think I told you guys about this before. NetMC makes a vanilla cactus farm, and that's what he uses for his biomass. And if you really want to min-max your biomass, what you can do is take your cactus, put it into a squeezer, which will give you cactus water and 70% chance at 2 cactus green. And then you can take the cactus water and the cactus green and put them both into a fermenter, because cactus green will work as the solid. And if I could find it in here, which I know it's going to take a minute to do, you can also use the cactus water as the liquid. And come on, where is it at? There it is. So you can use cactus green and 67 liters of cactus water. You get 100 per cactus, and that'll actually give you 202 biomass. And if I remember correctly, you will always have extra of the greens. I can't remember, which you could just run in a separate fermenter with water. But you could passively make ethanol, and Net doesn't even use it for ethanol. He uses it for methane, because you can actually put them, you can also make methane. He likes gas. I have no idea why, but you can make methane in the fermenter with biomass. So you don't even need the distillery. You just make 2 fermenters. So you hook one up making the biomass, then you put the biomass into a second one, and it'll turn into methane. It's 40 to 8 for that, and then you can use gas burning boxes. He did his with all gas burning boxes and boilers. This was before we had natural gas. I'm pretty sure he'd probably go for ethanol now, but it's been quite a while since he's done GT6. But he also had a huge tower of cactus farms. It was like an entire chunk, and it was, I think, 9 or 12 layers high that he made it. And it did him pretty well. I'm not into the vanilla cactus farm. They're not laggy or anything. It's just a lot of building. I would rather spend my time little by little getting other things. Like, I have to use wood all the time. So I have all of these saplings just laying around that I don't need, and we can just throw these in and make plant matter out of them, which I'm going to go ahead and show you here real quick. If we disconnect that, and this thing's going to take a week. Get rid of all of that. We also want to get that out of there for the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this over here. And apparently none of these can be used. That's why we went through it so quick. Alright, so apparently Greg doesn't like some of this stuff. But, wait a minute. I know there's a vegetable matter. Yeah, so we can take the zucchini and we'll get a 45% chance at vegetable matter. Lettuce, we can do it and we get plant remains out of it. Let's see, turnips. Yep, we get plant remains out of that. And I'll bet you the red currants is because you need fruit remains from it. Alright, so we can use all this other stuff, but we have to break it down into plant matter. It won't take it directly. Alright. Well, we're just going to ignore it for right now. Like I said, I'm just going to make a wheat field. And I'm also going to get rid of this corn and rye that we don't need. And I think carrots can actually go in directly, but I'm eating them, so I'm not throwing them in. Yeah, carrots can go in directly. Some things can, some things can't. And holy crap, that thing's still going. So, screw it, we're using NEI. So, sapling, oak sapling, if we throw it into a shredder, and it's for any sapling, we have a 60% chance of 2 plant remains, and then we can put our plant remains into the fermenter and make our biomass that way. And I'm hoping that corn is going to work. We can test it by doing that, which no, it won't. Because if the machine won't accept it, then I'm just going to throw it over here and we'll let it get shredded down with the oak saplings. But anyways, that is it for today. It is 10:14. This video is already late getting out. It's going to take probably a good half hour to get it uploaded. So, sorry it's going to be a bit late today. I will see you guys next time, and we will probably be working on setting up an electrolyzer. I think. We will see. Have a good one.